The new Mason jar is starting a new series, and that series is going to be the new Mason jar shorts, which are on YouTube. So today, to kick off some of our short videos that we'll be doing, we have EmilyRaible and Dawn Duran. Emily was just on the new Mason jar, and you haven't heard that episode yet, but it'll be out very soon, where she talks about what it's like to be a mom and continue your own education while you're also homeschooling your children. And that was a very fun episode. But we wanted to ask Emily one more question, so we thought we would get on here and ask her that question. And that question is, well, I'll let Dawn ask Emily that question.
Emily, what are you reading?
Many things. I am not one of those people that starts a book and finishes it and moves on. I'm pretty sure I would explode if I tried to do that. So I've got several things going on. A lot of them are rereads. Last year was really hard, and my reading life did not go the way that I thought it would. Um, and so this year I thought I'm just gonna start off with a bunch of old friends and just go back to those. So the first one that I read, and I just finished it, it's by John Muir and it's called My First Summer in the Sierras.
Hmm.
And it's all about him following this shepherd. He's kind of supposed to be watching the shepherd to make sure he does what he's supposed to be doing, but the guy told him you can, do all your nature stuff that you want to up there. So it was in 1869 and he's up there and that book just the whole thing is basically look at this. It makes you want to glorify the Lord. Look at this. It makes you want to glorify the Lord. So I really needed that just first thing this year. That was really helpful. And I read that last year in January as well. So it just kind of worked out that way. I think in the episode before that we recorded earlier, I talked about Boswell's Life of Johnson. So I'm listening to that on Audible again. It's so good. I was going to show the book, the actual book I have, but I remembered that I threw it away because it was abridged.
Oh,
And I didn't realize it when I bought it, so then I got rid of it.
I love this, Emily. You threw a bridged book away. Okay.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Um, on my Kindle at night, I'm rereading Augustine's Confessions.
Hmm.
Um, and I like to have specific nighttime books versus daytime books. I need to not get all amped up at night. And then I have found that the Kindle is really nice because when you try to have pens and pencils in your bed, it hurts when they stab you in the middle of the night. Um, so it's better to have the Kindle. You can highlight, you can make notes, you can look things up. So I have a lot of nighttime stuff on my Kindle primarily.
I wish all books had that thing that you could just touch a word and it would tell you what it meant.
Right?
Instant, like right away.
Yeah, no work to do.
Nope. And then I'm also rereading Hamlet. So this is my pretty
Oh.
Pelican Shakespeare Hamlet. Rereading that to help me with something that I'm trying to write. So I need to make sure that I remember how a tragedy works. And then another nighttime book is The Song of Roland. Um, I love the version that Dorothy Sayers translated, so I pick that up. Every time I go and see one in the wild, I grab it. Um, love reading epic poetry before bed, epic stories. I don't know, something about those really big worlds and me being small. I don't know, I find that really comforting and then you kind of float on the language as you're going to sleep. Um, I'm also rereading The Gentle Art of Tramping. And I saw that on your Goodreads list. Cindy, you got it?
Yes, I bought it after you told me, and I bought The Song of Roland after I talked to you. So I'm good. You're getting me all off track here.
Yes, good. I'm really good at that. So this book, The Gentle Art of Tramping, I'm not really even sure how to describe it, but reading about this man and his philosophy of walking and being in nature, and I just love it. And he's got a lot of literary allusions throughout the entire book, and so it's really fun.
I bought that book. I'm a nerd about walking books. I just finished a book called something about gentle walks in the Cotswolds. I forget what it's called, but I and then now I have the tramping book on my Kindle, so I'm very much looking forward to tramping with this man.
Yes, it's so much fun. I think you'll really like it. I thought of you instantly when I read it last year. Um, and then I am reading a couple new things for me. Well, one more old thing that I'm rereading is The Mystery of Providence,
Ah,
and that's by John Flavel. Um, and as I'm struggling with, things in my life, I thought it would probably be helpful for me to read a book that reminds me of God's mercies
hmm.
and all the times where he's, saved my bacon and, answered prayer and answered things that I didn't even pray for. So, that book is just really good for
Well, you
that.
are a bad influence on me because I already have that on my audio on audiobooks because of a conversation I had with you years ago. We were talking about
Yeah.
just, when you're down or when you need Christian comfort. That's a really good book.
Yes, I remember we were talking about that. And I think you read another one that my husband recommended. Um,
That is on my Kindle. Yeah, I didn't get that in audio and I can't remember the name of it, but I did read that one.
so that one is really good. And I'm kind of dipping in and out of all of these, just little bits at a time. And then still reading Diary of an Old Soul, which you told us about. So that one, I really like just having that every morning. I read that every morning, and then I have it to look forward to. Um, we just had a friend pass away last night, actually, and those last few poems in that for January just
Hmm.
it was just like, yep, that's what I needed for right now because that's what's going on. So that was really encouraging and helpful. Um, and then a new one that I'm reading. This is for our Sunday school at church. It's called Precious Remedies Against Satan's Devices by Thomas Brooks.
Hmm.
Is
He
this a
was,
Puritan writer?
yes,
Yes.
yes. And I think they said they were going to do this book, and I don't always, sometimes I'll be like, well, is the author still alive? And they're like, no, Emily, they're not. You can read this one, and I'm like, yay. So I think this is going to be really helpful because sometimes it just feels like Satan's winning
Hmm.
and coming after you, and why not read something that's maybe going to help me see some of those things as they're coming and avoid falling into his traps. So
Mm.
I like it so far. There's a lot of front matter to
Okay.
get through before you actually get to the actual thing. And I started reading Saint Augustine on Christian teaching because Angelina mentioned it in the Lit Life conference. And it has a bunch of front matter that you have to read. Like he's like, this is why I'm writing it, and this is who it's for, and this is what it's not. And so it was kind of very similar in that way. So I thought that was neat. Um, and then another Angelina suggestion, Against the Machine. I think you've read it too, right, Cindy?
Yes, I suggested it to Angelina.
Have you read it
I
yet?
want to get credit every once in a while for what I do. No, I really like that book. I thought that book was excellent.
I agree. Very, very good.
It's really saying a lot of things that I was thinking but didn't have words for yet.
Yeah,
So
I love when you encounter a book like that. It's someone has the ability to articulate the thoughts that are bubbling on the edges of your mind, but you haven't found the way to articulate. So there were so many elements in that book that I thought, wow, yes, that's the way to say it.
yeah, so that's been really good. I'm finding I'm having to read it in small doses because it's kind of depressing.
Mhm.
You
It
know,
is depressing. It is depressing in a good way, kind of like you're not crazy way. There's a big
Right,
monster trying to eat you.
right.
yeah, I
There
kept
is a
thinking,
monster under the bed. Yeah,
yeah, that's what I kept thinking. I was like, he's acting like it's the big bad wolf, and I was like, but big bad wolves are real, so that kind of
yes.
makes sense. So that's all the things that I'm actively reading right now. I'm dipping into some other things because of what I'm trying to write. So I have I have Macbeth and I have Sophocles and I have all sorts of things that I'm just like looking at Aristotle's Poetics, making sure that, but all that stuff is just kind of like referencey.
Are you writing a tragedy?
I'm trying to write a tragic play.
Okay, so it was funny because my granddaughter the other day we love ballet. We're always talking about it. Well, we were listening to the music to Swan Lake, and she wanted to know about the ballet. So
Mm.
I'm starting to tell her, and it's just a terrible story. It's a tragedy, and she's 5. And then of course doing what I do, try to go into the elements of a tragedy and why tragedy is important because I'm talking to her and I'm feeling so bad and then the bad swan kills the good swan and it's just really I really got into it with her and I thought, what are you doing, Cindy? Just tell her it's about 2 swans.
Oh,
But anyway, Emily, that's how far along are you in your tragedy, your play?
So I usually have a few stages when I'm writing something. So first I'm just thinking about it, and then when I feel like either my brain is going to explode or I'm going to forget all of it, that's when I start writing everything down. And so I had about 7 or 8 pages of notes, and now I've moved on to putting it on my laptop. So I'm trying to get the structure and the form set up and get all my pieces. I had one side of a page where it had all the story points and what they're not acts, they're episodes, and then all my plot holes on the other side. And so I'm trying to like fill those things in. So it's still very early days, and we'll see what happens.
I love how brave you are. That's wonderful. I look forward to reading this.
Maybe you'll be the only one who
I
does.
might. You never know. After you die, it'll be a big hit.
Of course, and
okay.
all I want to do is have enough money to never cook dinner again, and it'll probably not happen until after.
Yeah, you got to not write. We got to find you a hobby that actually makes money.
Oh, well, this has been so great, Emily. Thank you so much for joining us for this time to tell everybody what you're up to and what you're reading. I hope that it inspires some others out there to be brave and put their pen to paper and make their ideas come to life too.
Yes, thank you so much for thinking of me and having me on again. I really have fun with you guys.
It's been very fun.